Hello everyone, my name is Elle and welcome back to Once Upon a Beauty Time. So today's video is going to be a review, kind of non-first impressions because I've tried it out a little bit, but I guess my opinion on what I think about a semi-new product that has come to Australia. It's got a lot of kind of opinions on YouTube and blogs already, but I thought I would share mine for my fellow subscribers and anyone new to my channel that would like my 2 cents on this product. But this is the Body Shop Lightening Shade Adjusting Drops. Now, as I said before, there's a lot of hype around these. I've definitely formulated my opinion on them based on a lot of different trial and error. A little sneak peek, I am not too sure about this. But without further ado, let's just get stuck straight into the review. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a few kind of specs about the actual lightening drops. Now, these are part of a line of foundations that the Body Shop have recently brought out, well, here in Australia anyway. So there are 2 sort of shade adjusting shades. There is the lightening one and then there is the darkening one, along with a whole bunch of different shades of the actual foundation. I just picked up the lightening drops because this is something that is super interesting, especially as a pale gal. Now, shade adjusting drops are by no means something that is new. Cover FX have got drops. There's the Manic Panic white foundation. Illamasqua have got a white skin base, which is something that I recently have picked up, and I guess we'll maybe comparing these a little bit later on in the video. So it's definitely not a new concept, but I think the really great thing about this is that it does have a very slight pink tinge to it. I'll go into that a little bit later on, but here in Australia you can purchase this for $29.95 and you get 15 milliliters of product. Now, that is probably one of its downfalls. You're not getting very much product at all for the price that you're paying. The bottle is quite deceptive. I thought that I was getting more than that in here. It does feel nice. It's glass. It's got a rubber dropper. This dropper though is bloody stupid. It doesn't work as a dropper should. You kind of squeeze it to get product out, and then when you drop it out it kind of bubbles and pops in your face. I just end up wiping the product on the back of my hand and then mixing that with a foundation. I'm going to read on the Body Shop's website how they actually describe this and what they claim it to do. So it says, new, you wouldn't settle for Mr. Almost Right, so why would you do it for foundation? Our shade adjusting drops help turn an almost there shade into the perfect tone. So the lightening drops, if you have a light to medium skin, you may find your foundation looks too dark or orange, and if you're neutral to pink undertoned and a fair skin gal like myself, you totally know the struggle. So a concentration of white and pink pigments in our lightening drops helps to neutralize yellowness, amazing, while lightening. Simply add a drop, alright, to lighten light to medium shades. So according to the Body Shop, they've got a little formula, I guess. 1 drop of the lightening drops equals half a shade lighter in your foundation. They also say that this will work with most foundations. They also claim that it won't change the consistency of your foundation. These are a couple of things that are really sort of problematic for me. I think it's great that there is something that is quite readily available to us here in Australia anyway that can make us pale girls lighten our foundations, because personally the Cover FX drops are still too dark for me, so I can't get that sort of lightened effect in a foundation. The only other one that's sort of readily available in Australia is the Illamasqua Skin Base in shade number 1, which I mentioned before. This guy though, I like the concept that it has pink tones in it to help to cancel out yellow. That's amazing. I think that's fantastic, and it definitely does work. You need a lot more than 1 drop though to really lighten your foundation. I've tried these with a lot of different formulations from different brands, different consistencies, they're different finishes, and the thing that I kind of can't get past about this is that it really does change the consistency of your foundation. Now, the lady who kind of talked me through this at the Body Shop assured me that that wouldn't happen, and I was really hopeful because it was something that I was quite worried about. For myself, I'm quite oily in my T-zone, so I do like a very matte foundation, and typically with some matte foundations like the Marc Jacobs Remarkable, which is something that I've been kind of raving about lately on my channel, it's a very thin formula, but a very almost powdery matte finish, and I was worried that kind of mixing something like this guy would change that consistency, and unfortunately it did. I feel like this review is going to be rather negative. It's just been so overhyped, and I want to give my personal opinion so you guys don't rush out there to get something that a lot of other people have been raving about. So I will show you a little demo of how this does work, so you can see how obviously if you're adding one drop, it's not changing it dramatically, but if you add a few more, you really start to see the results, and that is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I love that I am now able to use some of my foundations that are ever so slightly too dark or too yellow for me, and this is something that is a quick fix. It just takes a couple little seconds more to really adjust to what you want. It doesn't make your foundation heavier, it just, I feel like it changes the consistency in terms of it adds a little bit more dew in there. It changes those very matte foundations and makes them kind of break up a little bit more on areas that I do get oily, and it's a real killer for me. I've tried to give it many chances with a whole bunch of different primers, different foundations, different powders, and I just can't seem to get it to work for me. On the other hand, as a little bit of a comparison, the Illamasqua Skin Base in shade 1. Now this is a little bit different because this is pure white, and you can see that this has got a little bit of a pink tone to it, which is how they're marketing it. I like this a lot more. The Skin Base foundation by Illamasqua is a little bit thicker in its formula anyway, so I find that when I mix it in with other foundations, it just pairs together really nicely. You do have to be a little bit careful with this because it's a pure white pigment pretty much. A little bit goes a long way. But that is something that is better than the Shade Adjusting Drops by Body Shop. You just don't chew through as much as this guy. But yeah, as a comparison, I'm really liking the Illamasqua one more than the Body Shop. I do know that Illamasqua isn't available for everybody. I'm not saying that that is the better alternative. It's just something that if it is available to you and you've had trouble with the Body Shop ones, give the Illamasqua one a go. Anyway guys, that is just a little bit of food for thought. I hope you enjoyed this kind of mini review of a product that's been getting quite a lot of hype. I wanted to keep it real with you guys. That's what I'm all about. And yeah, so unfortunately for me, this guy gets the thumbs down. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this a double thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the very near future in my next video. Bye guys!